So do you also want to use an AI agent to generate the ad ideas for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to build an AI agent to auto-generate Google Sheet ad ideas. So over here, I also used to generate ad ideas manually, but sometimes it is a task to sound creative. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as we add some of the ad details into our Google Sheets, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the ad ideas, and then further we can add that ad idea back again into our Google Sheet. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Sheets, my AI agent, which is OpenAI, and then Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this video, I'll guide you through building an AI agent that auto-generates ad ideas directly in Google Sheets. So whether you're launching new products or running seasonal campaigns, this setup uses prompts like target audience, goals, and platform type to suggest attention-grabbing ad ideas. It's a game changer for creative teams. And to get started, I'm just going to show you a really simple example and the working of this automation. I'm simply going to add the product name, the target audience, the platform, and the ad objective right over here. And once I'm just going to add all of these details right over here, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the headline, description, and call to action. You can see within seconds in real time, the AI agent has generated me the headline, description, and call to action. That too without any manual intervention. All of this happened in backend, and within seconds these three details have been generated, and now my team can review it further and update the status accordingly. So yes, you can see this is no magic. This is the power of automation which we are going to create in today's video. And if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. And if you also want to create this automation for your own business, then for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, we are simply going to open a new tab, and we're going to look for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in our browser. And now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and over here we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free, and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in, and now it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account, and as soon as we're going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we simply have to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as this, which says how to build an AI agent to auto generate Google Sheets ad ideas. And then we are simply going to click on this button which says create, and as soon as we are going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens, and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, I'm simply going to select my trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to select it. And now it is asking me for the trigger event. So for my trigger event, I'm simply going to select it as new or updated spreadsheet row. And after selecting this trigger event, it is giving me a webhook URL. So we're going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connects workflow. So what we're going to do is I'm simply going to copy this webbook URL, and then we have to open our Google Sheets. And after opening our Sheets, we have to go towards this extensions, add-ons, and then we have to go towards this get add-ons. And after coming over here towards this get add-ons, we have to add an extension in the spreadsheet, which is Pabbly Connect Webbooks. So I'm simply going to search for Pabbly Connect Webbooks right over here and select it. And now as you can see that I have already installed this extension, so it is giving me the option of uninstall. But if you haven't installed this extension, you're definitely going to get the option of install right over here. And once you install this extension, you simply have to refresh your spreadsheet. This is a really important step to refresh the spreadsheet. Otherwise, what is going to happen is you're not going to view the option of Pabbly Connect Webbooks right over here under your extensions tab. And after refreshing this spreadsheet, I can view this Pabbly Connect Webbooks option. So I'm simply going to go towards this Pabbly Connect Webbooks and then towards this initial setup. And after coming over here towards this initial setup, it is asking me for the webbook URL and the trigger column. So what we're going to do is I'm simply going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow. And now for the trigger column, I'm simply going to keep it as D right over here. So the trigger column will be your final data column, on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent towards your webbook URL. So over here, what I want is that as soon as I add the product name, target audience, platform, and add objective, automatically my details should be sent towards my webbook URL. So that's the reason that I've kept my trigger column as D. You can select any trigger column according to your spreadsheet. If you want to send 3 details, you can select it as C. If you want to send 5 details, you can select it as E2. Alright, so now after entering both of this, I'm simply going to click on this button which says submit. And now it is saying setup configured successfully. And this setup configured successfully means that with this, we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webbook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webbook response, we have to do a test submission or record. So how are we going to do this test submission or record? I'm just going to open my spreadsheet, and over here we're going to do the test submission and record by going towards this extensions Pabbly Connect Webbooks, and over here you can see the button of send on event. So we are simply going to switch on this button which is send on event. So it is a really important step to switch on this button, because what is going to happen is that once you're going to switch on this button, whenever a new event is going to occur in your spreadsheet, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered. Alright, so now I'm just going to do the test submission. For that, I'm just going to enter the product name, the target audience, the platform, and the ad objective. And once we're going to enter all of these details, with this we have successfully completed our test submission. And now these details have been sent towards my webbook URL, which is towards my workflow. And now you can see that Pabbly has captured the response for the same. You can see all the details right over here. You can see the product name, you can see the platform, the ad objective, and also the target audience. So with this, we have successfully completed our trigger step. And now we are going to move on forward towards our action step. For the action application, I'm simply going to select it as OpenAI. So I'm simply going to search for OpenAI and select it right over here. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this button which says connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connects workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to get the token. And to get this token, it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So I'm simply going to go towards my OpenAI API key page to get the API key. And after coming over here towards this OpenAI API key page, we simply have to go towards this create new secret key button. And now it is asking me for the name of the key. So let's say I'm just going to name this key as add ideas. And now we're going to move on further, and over here I'm just going to select the project and click on this create secret key button. And now over here my key has been generated, so I'm simply going to copy this key and then we're going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And after pasting this API key, we are simply going to click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. And now it is asking me to select the AI model, so I'm simply going to select my AI model as GPT-4. You can select any another of your choice. Now we're going to move on further. It is asking me to enter the prompt, so I'm simply going to enter my prompt right over here. Alright, so as you can see that I'm simply going to enter my prompt, which is generate add creative idea based on the following input. I'm just going to add the input right over here. I'm just going to add the product name, but we're not going to enter it manually, but instead we're going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step, where we selected Google Sheets as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so I'm simply going to map the product name right over here. Then we're going to move on further. I'm just going to map the target audience. Now we're going to move on further. I'm just going to map the platform right over here. We're going to move on further, and now I'm just going to map the ad objective right over here. And after mapping all of these details, we're going to move on further and click on this blue button which says save and send test request. And now my AI agent is going to generate me the headline, description and the call to action. Alright, so as you can see that I've received the response, and over here my AI agent has generated me the headline. Over here you can see the description and the call to action. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our action step, and now I'm just going to add all of these details back again into my Google Sheets. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to add another action step for this, and now for the action application I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets and select it right over here. And now for the action event I'm simply going to select it as update row. So I'm just going to search for update row and select it right over here. And now we are simply going to click on this button which says connect, and now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, then you can click on this button which says select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And now I'm simply going to select my Gmail account right over here. And after selecting my Gmail account, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. And yes, with this we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the spreadsheet. So I'm simply going to select my spreadsheet right over here which is add idea generator. As you can see, this is the name of my spreadsheet, and then we simply have to select the sheet which is sheet 1. Now it is asking me for the row index. So I'm simply going to map this to, I'm just going to look for row index in the response of previous step and map it. Now over here it is asking me for many another details. So I only want to update the details which are headline, description. So what I want is that in this row I only want to update these three details, which is headline, description and call to action. So I'm only going to enter the details for these only. Alright, so I'm simply going to map this headline which my AI agent generated. Then I'm simply going to map this description which my AI agent generated, and same I'm just going to do with the call to action. So as you can see that I have only updated the details which I want, the rest are left as blank only. And I'm simply going to click on this button which says save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received a positive response that we have successfully added these details into our Google Sheets. And as you can see, the details have been added right over here into my Google Sheets. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now what is going to happen is, like I showed you in the starting of this video, whenever I'm just going to add the product name, target audience, platform and the ad objective, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the headline, description and call to action. We don't have to do anything. All of this is going to happen in backend, and automatically the rest of the three details will be added right over here in my spreadsheet, that too without any manual intervention. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this workflow and this video too. And if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching, everyone. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.